We are the Greater Dayton Association of Black Journalists, and this is the 2020 Black Male Media Project. Enjoy.
That is a difficult question. It depends upon what's going on.
When I think of a black man, I think of it, okay, this brother's powerful, and if he's not powerful, he can become powerful, moving from potential to performance. So I automatically see greatness.
It's like this duality where people love, they appreciate it, but at the same time it's demonized, and it's this love-hate relationship with it, almost like money, where people are like, I don't want to really deal with handling my finances, but it's an inseparable part of, living in this world. And so in that same vein, it's like, I don't want to deal with the black man, but I have to.
Being a black man, or we're the underdog, so to set the example and set the tone for others to be able to follow.
Google, you can type in black men are, and it has these search results that it finishes, the phrase, and it's like the reason that those search results come back is because that's what people are feeding into it. And so you're dealing with this construct of like, how do we overcome that thought? And it's very difficult because it's always in our face.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through.
We're being put in a box saying that we're all hood rats. The problem with that is misplaced frustration triggers misplaced aggression, triggers misplaced oppression, triggers misplaced destruction. So we end up self-destructing inside of that box.
Figure out their true passion. Like, we know that there's things that they portray as like, this is the only way out, whether you dribble or riddle out the hood, whether, you sling your drugs to get out, like none of those things have to be your reality.
Given a better view of what a black man is, it seems like, it'd be like trying to water down or like dim a person's personality. We should be able to be who we are no matter what, and portray who we are. Just because I like a certain type of music or certain anything doesn't mean that, or a person to be violent or, carry out anything in any negative intentions or anything like that.
If I had a nickel. I've been racially profiled countless times.
I just felt that barrier of uncomfortable, between us. So it just makes you think like, I'm a human, I'm just like you. We just have different skin colors. So I'm not gonna hurt you. That's not my intent. I'm not gonna talk bad to you, but for you to have that feeling and you don't know me, something is wrong.
I was definitely racial profile, and they were intimidated by me. And I laugh about it now because I laughed some problems away because I had to deal with them at that time. But I was really scared that they were gonna kill me for no reason.
As a black man, it happens so often, With my profession, I do a lot of traveling. And a lot of times I'm in communities where there are no black people, not a single black person. So it's just like being around those other ethnicities, and they're knowing that they're not used to seeing, a black man especially. It's a feeling of like power in itself, but in the same time, like I understand why people, are intimidated. I see a lot of times where people are staring at me like, like, what is he doing? Is he here for trouble? But I'm here for work.
Success is when you're able to benefit the community, when you're able to do work in the community, when you're able to help the elders, when you're able to help the children. It's not how much money you got, but it is the work that you put in.
No matter what obstacle you face, take advantage of the opportunities. If somebody says you can't go to school, you go to school. Somebody says you can't do this job, you do this job.
Especially right now with what's going on with the pandemic, these things are considered like leveling type of events that equalize inequality and equalize disparity. So we have to look at that and say, how do we take advantage of it? It's nothing wrong with us making the best of a bad situation.
You have to realize that you don't need permission to make change. So that's my definition of success, and that's what I'm trying to do, especially here in the city.
At any moment, I could be jogging, I could be driving, you know, I could be standing, and just because of, you know, me being a black man, I could have my life ended. So it's like, it really is that sudden, it's no warning, which is why it hits it so hard, so I'm obligated to.
They tell you, you know, if you get incarcerated or something, you get a felony, that the job force is going to be slim. People go back because they get discouraged. It's discouraging. Like the first 3 months, first 6 months, you get all this fake love, you know, and it's feeling good. But then after that 6 months, reality starts to kick in.
Police arrest a man they say they're all too familiar with.
Police say they've been investigating a drug dealing operation for a long time and have now shut it down.
They say a fight broke out on Huffman Avenue before shots were fired.
Being able to see friends that I grew up with, you know, dead. You know, I have friends who have died friends that I grew up with who have died in car accidents running from the police, friends who've been killed trying to rob other people. It's just, you know, it really inspires me.
I know that negative makes the news and you have to sell magazines and newspapers and things like that. But when people just hear the negative, they then get that negative connotation. But there is so much positive going on out there every day that outweighs the negative, that just a little more emphasis on that.
Just tell the story as it is, you know, especially if you're going to use a picture. It can be a family picture. It can be just, you know, a nice picture of them. It doesn't have to be a picture that was connected to how they passed away or how they died. I'm sure that there's more to that individual than what you see from the news. So, you know, I think just bringing back that honest, true narrative, you know, that doesn't try to throw any kind of stereotype on either side of things.
Show different examples that are not like the normal narrative, and not just like besides the negative narrative, the positive narrative, like, you know, alternative narratives. Show black men who are owning businesses, because it's something that a lot of people want to be. A lot of young people, young black boys and girls want to be, but they don't understand what it means to be an entrepreneur.
You have a responsibility. It's your responsibility to tell our story. It's your responsibility to be a change maker for our community, that tell the story nobody else wants to hear, even if some of it's positive, even if some of it's negative. Tell the story, because we can only grow if we know the story.